So I wanted to take a minute and talk about some of my favorite features that are coming in iOS 14. Now, I know on this channel, I mostly talk about the iPad, but there's a lot of exciting stuff coming in iOS 14 and watchOS. So for the summer, I kind of wanted to broaden it a little bit, and then I want to talk about a little bit more than just the iPad. Don't get me wrong, there's a ton of iPad stuff coming. I'm working on probably one of the biggest videos, that I've ever made for this channel, going into some really detailed iPad stuff. But for now, let's get into some awesome features in iOS 14. I did a video already talking about how you can customize the home screen on the iPhone now, and it's really impressive. I'm not going to rehash that, but I will put a link to that video in the description below if you're curious about what's on my iPhone and how I'm organizing it with all the new widgets and stuff. But there is one feature of that I really want to talk about, and that is from the Shortcuts widget and in Search. Any shortcut now that has the Ask for Input action, when you run it, it doesn't open the Shortcuts app. It opens a notification that you could tap in and start typing. This is awesome. It is sped up adding stuff to my task manager, calendar, taking quick notes, writing expense stuff down for expense tracking. It's really, really nice. I'm super happy that this is here. Ironically, the shortcuts that I use the most, which are quick task and add stuff to drafts and things like that, those are broken right now because in the beta, the URL schemes and shortcuts are broken, but that's okay. Next up, iMessage got some amazing features like Slack killer features. The first one is to be able to pin conversations. So you can have up to 9 conversations pinned to the top. These can be conversations that you're really active in or that you just want to jump between really quickly. In group messages now, you can @, somebody. So basically really brings their focus to the message if you really need to get a hold of somebody specifically in a group thread. Speaking of threads, there's now threading. You can reply to specific messages in group messages, which is great because sometimes, you're away from your phone, a whole bunch of messages come through and you want to reply to something specific and you don't want a bunch of hey, wait, what are you talking about messages? You just want to reply to something specific. So you can long press on that and reply to that specific message. This seems like a small one, but for those that receive a lot of phone calls throughout the day, I know for my day job, I get a lot of phone calls throughout the day. Now the incoming call notification doesn't take up the full screen of the phone. It looks just like a normal notification now. You can accept or decline or just flat out ignore it and keep going on with your business. This is amazing for people that still get a lot of phone calls. One of my favorite features that just doesn't get taken advantage of enough on the iPad is picture-in-picture video. Well, now that's coming to the iPhone. Just like on the iPad, you can use picture-in-picture video where it's supported. You can resize it, swipe it around. It's really great. I'm really hoping this feature is what gets YouTube to add picture-in-picture support to their app. Okay, so I'm working on 3 big shortcuts videos right now, but I kind of want to give a teaser of something that I'm really excited about, and something I heard from a lot of you guys that you want as well. Shortcuts automation, specifically the time-based automation. There's a couple others. I'm going to save those for other shortcut videos, but the timed automation no longer requires the confirmation notification. So you can have stuff automatically run in the background. So I've seen a couple of people on Twitter that have done this, and I'm doing it as well, that with their Apple Watch, they're having the watch face change because there's now Apple Watch actions. So they can have their watch face change at specific times of the day. So for me, I am doing at 5 p.m., I'm having the California face come on and just kind of have a nice cleaner face. But in the middle of my work day, I'm having the utility face, the one with all the complications and things like that. I'm using that face for my working face so I can kind of see all the information throughout the day. Also, I set it to where when I start a workout, it will automatically go to one of the activity watch faces, which is really nice. So all the activity stuff is right there. It's a really cool feature. I'm really excited about the time-based automations. So Apple added something kind of out of nowhere. I didn't expect this or want this or didn't even know this was possible. But there's now an accessibility feature where you can double tap and triple tap the back of your phone to trigger actions. So if you go into settings, accessibility, touch, and then back tap, there's 2 options in here. There's double tap and triple tap. You can assign different actions to them. These can be things like going home or opening Control Center or the app switcher or turning on or off accessibility features or even like turning up and down the volume or even scrolling. But you can also trigger shortcuts. So that means you could build a shortcut that opens an app, like say the camera app. So you could double tap the back of your phone and it would just run a shortcut, and then that opens the camera app. Or if you use a third-party app like Halide or Obscura, then it could open that as well. What I've been using these for are two shortcuts that I use throughout the day, and they were already previously mentioned. They were my new task shortcut. Basically, this will just add something to the inbox in my task manager. And new draft shortcut. It allows me to just make a quick note and then add that to the drafts app. Now, right now, like I was saying, URL-based shortcuts are broken in this current beta, which is beta 2 at the time of filming. Hopefully this gets fixed in the future and I can get back to using these. They were pretty nice. Now, I will say they get triggered really easily. It's very sensitive, so maybe there might be a sensitivity slider Apple can add that we can kind of make it where you have to hit it a little harder, because right now, if you just graze it twice, it will trigger that action. One of the big themes of iOS 14 and iPadOS 14 is taking advantage of the space. And Siri was one of those things that used to take up the whole screen size, both on the iPad and the iPhone. It's now a compact view. I really like this. I think it looks so much better now. Apple also is touting that it has 20 times more facts. I'm not entirely sure how to prove that. I kind of wish they would release like here's a laundry list of all the things it can do now. Maybe they have and I've missed it. I'll have to look around for that a little more, but I haven't found anything just yet. This next one I haven't been able to try yet, but it's the new AirPods feature. So when iOS 14 officially launches, I'm assuming probably right around then or maybe a day or two after, AirPods will be getting a firmware update. The first thing that they're going to be getting is the ability to quickly jump between devices. So the idea is if I'm listening to music from my iPad and I'm getting a call on my iPhone, if I answer it on my iPhone and I already have my AirPods in, it'll just jump that connection from my iPad to my iPhone and I'll have the phone call in my AirPods. I won't have to do the dance of like switching things around. I am very much looking forward to this. This, I think, could be a really cool feature. The other thing, and this is specific to the AirPods Pro, I'm guessing it's because of noise canceling and how they sit a little more snug in your ears. They're getting spatial audio. Now, this is kind of the Dolby Atmos kind of sort of type audio, where like if there's a car driving from the left side, you hear the audio from the left side and it goes to the right side. That's kind of cool. Will be interesting. I don't really watch a lot of movies with my headphones in, but I might have to give that a shot. So, because that would be kind of cool. So, sleep tracking came to the Apple Watch, and I haven't really been able to use it. I find it really uncomfortable to sleep with an Apple Watch on. But one of the really cool features that came alongside that was this wind down mode. So you kind of set up your sleep schedule on your iPhone, and then a half hour before, your phone goes down into what's wind down mode. So it'll turn on Do Not Disturb, and basically it'll kind of like discourage you from like using your phone, but you can set these actions in there that are kind of essentially allowed actions that allow you to get in and kind of make changes or do certain things. So for me, I've added some shortcuts to them, of course, but of course they're also the shortcuts that are broken in beta 2, so what are you gonna do? But overall, it's a really interesting feature, and I'm finding it to be kind of helpful for me not to just keep playing on my phone all the way up until I go to sleep, because sometimes I'll lay in bed and play with my phone until I fall asleep, and it's not healthy. Like it's not something that'll help your sleep. Okay, so this is the last one, and really bring it in here. Emoji Search. Yeah, I know, right? Like, why did it take them so long to do it? But it's only on the iPhone. It's not on the iPad. I don't get it. I don't understand why Emoji Search is just on the iPhone and not the iPad. Maybe it's something that's just missing in the first couple of betas and it'll come later on. Here's hoping. But no, on the iPhone, there's finally the ability to search for emojis, and it is glorious. It is such a time saver. Then like, okay, where's the link emoji, because I'm posting a link to something. Where is it at? I think it's all the way over here. No, it's back. That's gone. You just type link and it's there. So happy. So that's it, guys. Those are the features I'm really excited about for iOS 14. Let me know what you guys are excited about in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. And have a great day.